You've heard from many of my guests that Trump is part of a military operation at the highest level. He had to play ball with the deep state to smoke them out.
Yeah, bullshit, 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 bullshit.
And I wanted to get your views on the Q movement.
Here's just one word, bullshit.
No, it was a psyop.
It was a fucking psyop. They put this white dude in to keep the white working class subdued. Those in power have become very, very innovative. They've created what I call the NSOE, the not so obvious establishment. That's represented in 2024 by Donald Trump. If you go back after Obama, Obama was the Trojan horse who kept people in abeyance. Oh my God, Obama's going to fight Wall Street, blah, blah, blah. But what did he do in 2008? He delivered to Wall Street what they wanted. They should have all failed, all those banks. They had that midnight meeting at the White House and he bailed them out. Obama printed $8 trillion in 2 terms. So now working people are fuck this. They're totally done. So then if you believe elections are selections, look, I'm the one who did all the election stuff. I'm the election expert in the United States. Elections are selections. If you take off your Trump or Bernie or Biden hat, put it away and just follow rationally. If elections are selections, how did Trump get elected? If you follow the logic, it's not like, oh, well, he got lots more votes. No, he was selected. Why?
I heard he broke the system.
No, because Hillary actually knew she was cheated, people have said, and she didn't file the lawsuit. It's a whole nother story. But bottom line is just follow it through. If elections are selections, why and how did Trump get elected? I'll tell you why. Because Obama was a front man for 2 terms. The white and black working class are done with him. They needed to corral the white working class back in. They create this guy called Trump, who, by the way, wanted to be in Hollywood. He was a Democrat, very close friends with all these people. All of his slogans, make America great again, lock her up. These are all Madison Avenue slogans, man. It wasn't like this guy came up with them. Please understand the goal. There is only one group of people today that have something called the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. That is the American citizenry, 300 million people. 4% of the entire world's population have that right, Nino. Who is a tip of the spear of that movement? If you really look at it, because majority of people here are white, the white working class. And in fact, you go to the sharpening of that spear, it's the conservative white working class.
Which they're destroying now.
They have to blunt their edge. It's like taking a tip of a beautiful arrowhead and you have to blunt it. That's what Trump was brought in for. And I'm saying this as a guy who gave money to Trump. Anyone who's a fucking Trumper, I'm sorry, I didn't see you putting up signs. You may have put a MAGA hat on and paid $10, but I gave him $2,600. And I was out there in the bitter cold in Boston in 2020. If you remember, it was my work and the campaign for Truth, Freedom, and Health, which exposed Fauci first. We're the ones who ran the Fire Fauci campaign. Trump was all behind the lockdowns. Trump never fired Fauci. Very few of the MAGA cult people know this. 12 hours before Trump left the White House on January 19th, he gave Fauci a big award, a commendation award for Operation Warp Speed. It's obvious Biden is a fool. It's obvious the Bushes are fools and the Clintons. That's the obvious establishment. We're way beyond that. So Trump says all this stuff, lock her up. I'm going to assign a special prosecutor the first day I get in. Remember that? Lock her up, drain the swamp. The next day after he's elected, he said, that was for the election. Now we move on, quote unquote. And we have it on video. You have to understand these people think you're an idiot. I'm an idiot. And they hate us. They hate you. Trump doesn't give a fuck about people. This is all an act. It makes money for him. His businesses were tanking. He's made so much more money from this. And remember, you're talking to someone who donated to Trump, put up thousands of lawn signs for him. I didn't come later in 2020 and put a MAGA hat on.
You were on board in the very beginning.
Right, because he said the anti-establishment rhetoric. But I didn't realize he was the Jesse Jackson of the right. You see, the right wing didn't have a Bernie Sanders. It's all theatrics, man. He made so much money off the impeachment. He's made so much money off the conviction. You have to understand, among the mafia, they have their own feuds.
So let me ask you this. So 2020, we can agree, was stolen, correct? That was a heist. That was obvious.
What I'm saying is all elections are selections.
If it's a selection, why would they work so hard to steal that election from Trump?
Let me give you the data because I was in the center of it. If you go look at a tweet, I think it was right after Biden got in. And I said, look, I have unequivocal proof that the election systems in this country are compromised. That went viral, 33,000 retweets. I got a call from Mark Meadows, Trump's chief of staff. He knew I was doing all this very intense mathematical work for nothing. No one was paying me because I cared about this country. Meadows calls me and he goes, Dr. Shiva, how can we help you? Because I had just done the Michigan analysis, showed this very major anomaly mathematically. And I said, Mark, give me the data and I'll prove this in every state. I wasn't even going to charge him any money. I have my own data center, everything. So they wait and they wait and they wait. Rona McDaniel's office calls me from the GOP. So the White House is calling me and the GOP calls me. And she goes, how can we help you? I said, give me data and I will do the analysis for every state. They go, okay, tomorrow we're going to be in front of the RNC servers will get it to you. Nothing. And that's when I did that tweet. I said, if you truly care, I have the data. That starts going viral. Eric Trump reaches out to me on Twitter as a DM, all of it screenshotted. And I said, Eric, do people really care about what just happened to your father? And he goes, oh, call the Trump campaign. They have the data. So think about these three different organizations, the White House chief of staff calling me, the GOP RNC head calling me, and Trump campaign. Alex Cannon, I talked to him. I said, Alex, get me the data. They did nothing. Trump suddenly switched his calling to, I'm going to stop election fraud. They raised $500 million off of it. We never got any of the data, ever. I did all the analytics myself. So they sat on it. What they did do, Nino, is a lot of grifters got involved, throwing out crap. Oh my God, there's bamboo in the paper ballots. I mean, just crazy shit. There are real issues, chain of custody, the ballot images, signature verification. As a scientist, as an engineer, I'd focus on the real stuff. They didn't want to clean up the real stuff. So they made crazy shit. Mike Lindell saying, oh yeah, I have servers from China hitting us. Just bullshit. I was at the symposium. I said, Mike, you're making up shit. This is bullshit. So you had the grifters making up shit, cha-ching, cha-ching. Lindell selling more pillows off of it. Trump is making $500 million off of it. And we're here not seeing one penny doing all the real work. You understand?
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around why they would work so hard to steal that election.
It's not that it's all, they're not stealing it.
Think about it. But you know, when you 2,000 mules or whatever.
Yeah, 2,000 mules. Dinesh D'Souza didn't do shit. He didn't do anything in 2020. Another rat. Okay?
I love how you're so candid.
He's a fucking pussy. He didn't do shit. Go look at 2020. We're doing all this stuff. He waited to make a movie to make money. See, this is the way it works. Look at COVID. All these people are quiet when the shit's occurring, and then they wait. So look at all these doctors who said nothing in 2020. Go look at my tweet, March 4th, 2020. I said, this will go down in history, the pandemic, to support mandated medicine, to destroy economies, and to ensure censorship. We started the Fire Fauci campaign. Trump was lockstep and barrel with the lockdowns. There was only one person who's running for president who was against the lockdowns, me.
Your aha moment.
When Eric Trump and the Trump campaign never followed up.
You were offering your help.
Yeah, and Mark Meadows never followed up. And I saw Trump make $500 million off my work. Then when January 6th occurred, it all came together.
But could it be maybe, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, it truly is a military operation and they're smoking out the rest of these deep state rats?
You have a person who goes out and bangs 20 women a day, comes home and beats the shit out of you, and he gives you a flower, one flower. And you go, oh yeah, I guess he had to do that because when he was a child, his father did this to him, and I have to put up with this. Do you know it's an abuse freaking mentality? Absolutely. Do you understand how up what you're saying is, Nino? Look at the Q movement. The day he came in, he brought in the swamp. He brought in Bolton. Oh, he's doing this. He's doing this. But what were the results? The end results. If I drop this, what's the end result? All this water is going to smash. What were the end results? $16 trillion was the damage to the United States economy.
So you think he should have signed the Insurrection Act if he truly wanted to stay in office?
No, what he should have done was, first of all, you said you were against Big Pharma. You took $1 million in from Pfizer for your inauguration. Boom. Red flag. You said, the day I enter office, I'm going to get a special prosecutor. Where did that happen? Disappeared. You have a video of him saying, that was for the election. Now we move on. Treating people like idiots, Nino. Wake the fuck up. Third fact, I'm against Big Pharma, right? You brought in Big Pharma. You kept Fauci, who's been there forever. You want to drain the swamp? Fire Fauci. He's been around since 1984. Fire him. Trump had an MIT PhD. I'm known as one of the leading guys in the world on the immune system. I gave him the data. You have balls. You claim you have brass balls. You don't. You probably have very small balls, Donald. He didn't do shit. He talks a big game. Look, I met with Trump. I had a 2-hour meeting with him.
Yes.
So it's not like I don't know these people.
I got you. But let's just say, where do you see this heading into 2024? Obviously, the election system was not fixed. They didn't care to fix it. It's not being fixed now. Where do you see this going? Do you see Trump being the nominee?
The future is what we decide. We have to ask different questions. The issue is, what am I going to do? Not what the Trump does. Everyone gets to a point in life where you have to ask this very fundamental question. Do you accept the way the world that it is, or do you want to change it? Let me ask you that. Where do you
absolutely change it?
So now you come to a point, you say, I want to change the world. So you've taken, let's say, a certain branch of that decision. Some people never come to that decision. They just basically take the other decision because they never even ask that. So now you come to that point in life and you're living in the United States. The establishment only gives you two pathways. They say, Nino, you're great. You want to change the world? Hey, man, run for office. We got this thing called the election system. We're going to groom you to be a politician. The others, they say, file a lawsuit. So they have two vehicles. They give that bright-eyed and bushy-tailed jail person. Both of those systems are completely corrupt.
So you're saying it's all theatrics, that Trump is just, they're pretending for him to be the rogue
obviously
guy. You fell for it at the beginning as well, right? Like,
the theoretical mistake I had made was I thought the right wing had the Tea Party at the time as their wing, but they hadn't. It had been destroyed. So they needed Trump. You say Trump is the Bernie Sanders of the right. Let me try to walk through your shoes. You've decided you want to change the world. You can go running for office, voting for Tweedledee or Tweedledum, or filing lawsuits. Now, there is the real option, because if you step back and you studied what I teach, which is not taught anywhere, you said, you know what? The real option is we got to build a movement, a bottoms up movement. It's not sexy. It's not me voting. It's like, I got to go neighbor to neighbor. I got to teach people all this stuff you got to do. Our parents should have done that. So when I ran in 2020, we had started building our movement. When was the last time an MIT engineer with the knowledge I have ever ran for office? Never. But when we ran, look what we did, Nino. Because an outsider came in, we figured out the entire backdoor portal to Twitter. We're the ones who figured out the election systems. We're the ones who said, fire Fauci. Look at all the shit we did. We had these guys running, and then the grifters came and had to try to seize us. But we got a lot of shit done, man. Those are huge victories. Now, in 2024, our movement is explosive. We have leaders in every state. We have 350,000 people. What happens when I'm getting on the ballot in every state? They're going to try to stop me. We're going to discover so much corruption, and we're going to get that out. So that is a movement. We're getting others involved to see face-to-face this corruption.
Your plan is to expose even more.
Expose more, but the only way a guy like me, an outsider, could ever win even the presidency is a movement, period. This is called system science. I used to teach this course at MIT for 3 semesters. And the science of systems is how you realize how the elites work. So we teach that to people.
So if you understand that they are selections, not elections, why are you running for president?
Good question. In 2018, when we ran against Elizabeth Warren, we're the ones who destroyed her. It wasn't Trump. We had 4,000 signs up here, those big signs, only the real Indian can defeat the fake Indian. We forced her to take that. We're the ones who forced her to take the DNA test.
She was saying she was Native American, right?
Yeah, she said she was Native American. Bottom line is 10 of us in that independent campaign, we exposed Warren. Then I ran in 2020 as a Republican in Massachusetts. We had 3,000 volunteers. So the GOP is the one who did election fraud on us in Massachusetts. They ran a fool against us because they don't want us really beating the Democrats. They're in cahoots. On election night in September 2020, the word on the street was, Dr. Shiva, you won by a landslide. Even the GOP people are saying that.
Wow.
So in every county, in all the 9 counties, the results come in on the evening of September 2020, September 1st, and I win in the hand-counted paper ballot county by 10 points. All white working class. Every other county, 60-40, 60-40, 60-40, 60-40, 60-40. Everyone on my team was saying, Shiva, the only way we're going to lose if they cheat. And I go, that doesn't occur. The concept of election fraud was never even in my brain. After that day on September 1st, I said, holy shit. So I put on my hat as an MIT engineer, as an MIT computer scientist. I started studying every book on how these election machines work. And I was the one who discovered that there's a feature to flip votes. If you got 10 votes and I got 10 votes, they can multiply your votes by 2 and take my votes and multiply by 0.5. I was the one who exposed that. I was the one who did the Michigan analysis. I was the one who started the election systems integrity movement from knowing in my case, because when a paper ballot goes through the machines, what happens is a picture is taken and the AI on those machines figures out the votes. And by law, those pictures have to be preserved for 22 months. So I went and said, hey, I want the images of the ballots. The Secretary of State of Massachusetts said, oh, we deleted them. So that is when I said Massachusetts Secretary of State deleted 1 million ballot images. That started going viral. And that instant is when I was turned off Twitter in the middle of my federal election campaign, because we've moved it to a write-in campaign. I went into federal court the next Monday, and in federal court, we find out that the way they threw me off Twitter was the government had contacted Twitter, which is a grossest violation of the First Amendment. I win that court case, and we discover that the government of the United States has created backdoor portals into Twitter and Facebook. We wrote to Tucker Carlson and we said, cover this. He didn't do anything. Why? Because I'm not supporting left or right. And that would have meant that we would have gotten all those eyeballs. Then in court again, we went back in and Twitter was dragged in when I was deplatformed. It was a historic lawsuit, and I was representing myself against 7 Harvard lawyers and winning and winning and winning. And then the judge gave me a constitutional attorney who said, Shiva, you're going to be the first guy back on Twitter. Drop all your claims against the government. 72 hours before my hearing, and I said, fuck off. Fired him, and then the judge and the lawyer turned on me. But I was not willing to sell out. I was the one who discovered all this, and all the grifters suppressed it. We got to build a bottoms-up movement. These guys aren't going to do shit for us.
I have a very different outlook. Sometimes I say you give the black pill to people, but it's necessary. It's what it is. You see it very realistic, the problems that we're facing in America and this entire planet. everything you said, I've not disagreed with.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm telling you, that's a lot to say there.
Right. We have a huge opportunity right now. The opportunities for you to let go of a lot of these illusions. Here are the action steps. First action step, go to shivaforpresident.com, donate, volunteer, order one of these bumper stickers. Put this on the back left of your car and order more than one. There's packs of 10. We want millions of people with these bumper stickers. This is getting on the ground. One bumper sticker will be seen by 100,000 people in a day. So you do that, you're helping this bottoms up movement. Number two, go volunteer. We need to be on the ballot in every state. So you can volunteer. If you want to donate money, you'll get courses, you'll get materials, you'll get the entire Truth, Freedom, Health system and more. So get involved in that. Every Thursday, we do 2 important events. At 11 a.m. EST and at 8 p.m. EST, go to vashiva.com/orientation. And then I do my town hall at 8 p.m. EST, shivaforpresident.com/town hall. Then obviously go to truthfreedomhealth.com. You can contribute there. You can become a warrior scholar, take the course. Once you graduate, you can give the course to hundreds, millions of kids. You can give it away to as many people as you want. So get involved, get on the ground. And we've created an amazing community here. So get involved. All right, everyone, go to shivaforpresident.com, shivaforpresident.com/town hall.